Selling life insurance helped me swim with whale sharks in that ocean right there. So if you want to learn how you can do the same thing, I'm not lying, it is the truth, then stay tuned to this video. So I'm gonna go over a little bit about how this happened, how I got here. So a little bit on how I ended up winning this trip. We have, you have to hit 100,000 AP in a year to win the trip as a salesperson, and 1 million AP in a year to get it as an agency builder. So it's pretty cool. Now, while I was here, I got to do some really cool things. So one thing that I did was go to the Mayan ruins in Tulum. So I got to see the Mayan ruins. It was super sick. I got to go snorkeling in a reef, and I also got to go diving in a cenote. So a cenote is an underground cave or cavern. There's actually an underground river, and it has worn away at the limestone that makes up the Yucatan Peninsula. And it's caved in, and it exposes the underground river. So it's really, really cool that I went swimming in it. It was actually literally and figuratively cool. The water was cold. It was like 70 degrees. So it's kind of freezing my butt off the whole time there. And then yesterday I went swimming with whale sharks, which was super, super cool. So these types of trips and these types of conventions, guys, if you got them in your IMO, your agency, you got to get on one. You got to go to one. And the reason why is because, like, we work so hard. We all work so hard, and you guys all deserve to go on these types of trips. So if you're independent, or maybe you're with a different IMO, then learn what you have to do to get on these trips. They all have them. Most of the carriers have them. I guarantee wherever you work, you have the ability to get a trip like this, either through the IMO itself or through the carrier. The reason why we can sell all the carriers that we write with and the agent can still qualify for the trip is because we are a captive agency. So it gives us a couple little luxuries that maybe some people who aren't captive, who are independent, don't have in that aspect. There's pros and cons to each system. Captive ain't all that bad. You know, I've made a good amount of money in a captive agency, more than I did independent. Some people it's the other way around, vice versa. So you guys got to get focused on this. Now, a few tips on how you can qualify for your company trip. So this is how you're going to find whether you can qualify for the company trip or not, or the agency IMO trip. So what you're going to do, you're going to go, if you're with an independent IMO, you're going to want to look at each carrier. I know Mutual of Omaha usually has one. Royal Neighbors usually has one. What's that one out of Texas? There's another IMO out of Texas that has, insurance carrier out of Texas that has one. Just about every insurance carrier that out there has a trip incentive that you can qualify for. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to learn what that incentive is, or what the qualifications for it are, and when it starts, when it stops, when the deadline is. So you're going to want to figure out what those are. And this is another reason why it's good to just work with a few different insurance carriers. Okay, some people like working with like 100 different carriers, spreading their business all over. It's not good to do that, guys. It's just not, right? And you may say, well, it's in the best interest of my clients. Okay, well, your clients don't have your best interest at heart all the time, okay? And you have their best interest at heart. You're helping them get a policy, but you can't service their policy or help them with their policy if you're not in business. So by writing and being loyal with a few different carriers, they reward you. Now, they may have cash bonuses on top of this, but figure out what it is. And also you want to figure out if it's paid premium, that has to be for the vacation, or if it's issued premium or on the books premium in that time. So the way that we do it is we look back at the whole year, and if someone has $100,000 still on the books in that 12-month period, then they get the prize. If they get $150,000, then they get the upgraded room that I got, or $1.5 million as an agency builder. Then you got the upgraded room I got. That's like the top tier. We're hoping to make some other tiers as people start building bigger teams and maybe getting their production up. Well, we have agents doing 30 to 40,000 AP a week, so it can't really get higher than that. But figure out what it is. So I've seen some carrier trips that are paid premium. So what I mean by that is you have to have like 400,000. Royal Neighbors, they had like $400,000 in paid premium. Insane in a year. So to have or it was like 250K or 400,000. Either way, to have that amount of money paid in a year, you got to be selling like a monster volume, a ton of policies with one carrier. Mutual of Omaha's was a little lower. So take a look around. Look at the different carriers that you like and figure out what their incentives are. Because I'm telling you, it's super cool. And the coolest thing too about you guys being able to do it with like an independent model is that You're going to be there with other insurance agents and meet people from other IMOs, probably that you've never met before. And there are a lot of heavy hitters in this business who don't have social media, who don't have Facebook, who don't have Instagram. Rory Docherty, the CEO of Senior Life Services, he does not have an Instagram. I don't think he has a Facebook. I don't think he has an Instagram anyway. Probably doesn't go on YouTube too much. Guy's been selling life insurance for like 45 years. He's a beast. He's really good at it, and he's got really good at building an agency. His agency is amazing. We're going to start an insurance carrier over the next 5 to 10 years. So you're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to network. Now, how do you win those trips? Number one, you got to figure out what the qualifications are. Number two, you got to set a schedule, and you got to say, I have to write this much business every week in order for me to qualify for this trip with this company. I have to do this much business with this company. So it may actually help you make more money, because you may be like, oh crap, I had to go guaranteed issue, so now I got to write another policy this week for this company. How am I going to do it? Well, you're going to have a lead flow. So number one, you got to have your lead flow. Check out my video. If you look up right here, you're going to see my video on how to make final expense Facebook ads. Actually, no, I'm not going to post that video there. If you're going to want to learn how to make your own final expense Facebook ads, so you can check out my YouTube video on how to do that. Also, your own final expense YouTube ads. I've had a ton of luck with those lately. A ton of success. It's not luck. You can check out a video in the description. Both those video links will be in the description. You're going to want to check out how to do that. And also, you can just search on my channel. If they're not in the description, just search on my channel for how to make, and it'll come up, YouTube ads and final expense ads. You're going to want to generate your own leads, bottom line. Get good at that, and you're going to make a ton of money. It's super simple. You don't have to pay like a ridiculous amount of money for a course to learn how to do it. Legit, just watch my YouTube video, and you'll be able to do it from there. Train and get your sales skills down, and then also work whatever leads you have. If you're banging appointments and going door to door, then get your direct mail leads or run local Facebook ads or YouTube ads. If you're doing telesales, then you're going to want to get telemarketing leads and live transfers and inbound calls. Also, if you're running Facebook leads and YouTube leads, a lot of our clients have unknown call silencers activated on their phone. I've learned this. A lot of the YouTube leads I've got recently have iPhones, and they have that because I call them, it goes right to voicemail. I can call them 10 times, it goes right to voicemail. But I text them and they read it immediately, or it shows delivered. So I know the phone's not off, and I know that they have that on there. So guys, if you're running Facebook leads or YouTube leads, text every single person, and it's compliant to text them as long as it's not an automated message blast, okay? And unless if they opt into it, if you put an opt-in in your lead form, then it's okay to send them automated messages. But you can send people manual text messages if they fill out a lead form. That is 100% okay. So obviously I'm not a lawyer, but I know it's okay. So send out a text to people. All right, check out another video I have is how to sell. I sold a $121 a month policy over text message, so you can check out that video too. I kind of go through how to sell. You don't want to sell someone over text, but you want to communicate with them. So bottom line, you're going to want to figure out the qualifications for that carrier, and you're going to want to get a solid lead flow so that you know that you'll be able to do the math backwards and be like, okay, if I have to do 4,000 AP a week through XYZ company, then that means I need this many leads, because I can realistically write like 60% of my business with that carrier or 70% of my business with that carrier. I'm gonna need some fluff there in case some people come up that are guaranteed issue or whatever you have happen. Also anticipate policies falling off the books. So you wanna figure that out, how they handle policies falling off the books with their conference qualifications, and really work backwards and set a schedule for yourself, because the cool thing about these conventions and qualifying for these is that if you hit these goals to qualify for these trips, you're going to hit a lot of income goals and targets along the way probably. Okay, so it's a good way for you to compete for something that's set by a company, and you know that, hey, you're going to be making a bunch of money. And now the cool thing is too, you're going to end up, it's going to seem like you make more money in renewals doing this, because any chargebacks will get eaten up over time with renewals, and you'll have renewals with one carrier. So you're just going to get a big check in there just like that. It'll help you establish a relationship with those carriers, and it's a great way to do it. So you're going to want to find out what the qualifications are, get some lead flow, work backwards, schedule out your weeks on what you have to do to hit those numbers and qualifications, and then figure out who else is going there. And then once you win, what you're going to want to do too is Google like what excursions they have in the area. So all these tropical islands and tropical places have some really cool stuff. You can do like I went swimming with whale sharks. I went swimming in an underground cave. I went snorkeling. I went visiting ruins of Mayan civilization that was like, you know, over 1,000 years old. So find out what it is there like that you can do outside, and make sure you go explore and do some of that stuff. Now, it is cool to go chill at the resort. It is cool to go hang out at the resort, but I'm telling you, there's some things in other parts of the world that you'll never get the opportunity to do anywhere else. Like, they only have Mayan ruins in South America. They're not in, you know, South Florida, where I live. So find cool stuff to do, bring someone with you, share the journey, and then also, if you look up right here, you're gonna see how you can travel the world and sell life insurance, okay? So I have my whole office set up. I just literally put it in my bag, but I have a whole portable office that I set up in my hotel rooms that I go to. So it's super simple. It's really not that hard to do. You need a monitor, some adapters, some cables, external mouse, keyboard, and you can get rocking right in the hotel room. Like, I've been working half the time I've been here, about a quarter of the time I've been here, and then enjoying myself. So I'm able to produce results in my life, which makes me happy, and I'm also able to go on vacation. I'm that crazy dude. Sitting at the pool all day does not make me happy. Going on those cool things, doing that cool stuff makes me happy, because it's crossing off a milestone. Sitting at a pool, relaxing, is not a milestone for me. Right? A cool thing to check off my list is like, yo, I went and saw ancient civilization. I swam with the biggest fish in the ocean, in the world. I jumped in an underground cave and went swimming in an underground cave with a river that supports the water supply for the whole Yucatan Peninsula. So I like working when I go on vacation. So you can learn how to do that by looking up right here. I would go over exactly how I do it, how I traveled the world. I made $370,000 selling life insurance, traveling the world. I'm with Senior Life Services. That's our IMO, SLS, and this is our logo right there. And I am in Riviera Maya at Grand Velas. So this is at our agency trip every year. Now, the cool thing about our agency trip is that you don't have to write business with like a single carrier. You can write business with all the carriers within our IMO, and you can still qualify for this trip. So this is actually a $2,000 a night hotel room. I got a hot tub, a personal hot tub, plunge pool on my balcony right there, literally right out in front of the ocean, like ocean view. Sick. This hotel room was like $2,000 a night if you went to book it yourself.